You may think Nintendo Switch 2 is better than Switch 1 in every way, but I'm here to tell you, you are wrong. Folks, welcome to the Mario Matter, your favorite Nintendo podcast, episode 147. I am your host, Nintendo Switch 2 YouTuber EmSwizzle, and it's a great Saturday. Every Saturday we are here. What is on today's program? You may be wondering. Well, first things first, my guest and I go over Nintendo news from the past week. That includes our guest thoughts on the next Direct. When will that happen? Switch Online updates, Donkey Kong Bananza, all that good stuff. After that, we dive into comparing the Nintendo Switch 2 and Switch 1 on some fun categories. You may think, oh, Switch 2 wins in power and, size and all that. No, Switch 1 wins in a few areas. It's a juicy topic. We talk about it all. Tune into that. We have a fun conversation. And then after that, my guest and I, the guest and I, however you word that, answer your questions you asked us. And our guest today is none other than Danno Cow Drawings. Danno is a fellow shorts YouTuber making very cool animated drawing content. Coming up on 4 million subscribers, Danno joins us for the second time on this podcast. Let's not make you wait any further. Let's get freaking to it.
Welcome to the Mario Matter, the #1 Nintendo podcast.
Danno, welcome back to the Mario Matter, your second appearance. How's it going?
Hey, thanks for having me back. I am so grateful. I'm so grateful to be back and actually having the Switch 2 to talk about. I can't believe it wasn't even announced my last time I was here.
Indeed. I was going to ask you about that right off the bat. Switch 2's out now. You have one. What do we think so far?
Let's see, where did I put it?
He's grabbing his Switch 2, or he's looking for it. He's on the
lost
move. Do we have it here?
I might have lost it already.
Okay.
Yes, I did get it launch day, and I gotta tell you, it's pretty fantastic. I can't believe how long it has been since I just carried my Switch around with me, like, everywhere. Like, it's like, to restaurants and things, and, being that guy with the stupid thing out, you know what I mean? Like, just everywhere playing either Mario Kart or, I've actually been getting into a couple other games that, like, have had some graphical upgrades and stuff, and some classics like Lego Star Wars and stuff. Just like having it, just, I don't know, it just feels so good. I can't explain it. I really like it.
I agree. Only downside, and no offense to anyone listening, if you are, sorry, it makes me feel like an iPad kid. I don't know. I'm like taking it everywhere. I'm like laying down. I'm like holding it by the freaking kickstand, like the iPad handle case or whatever. I don't know, man. It's just getting to be a little bit too much than I'm used to. I'm playing a handheld a lot, so yep.
You're right. It is a little. I think I've seen that a couple places, that it's like a little slightly embarrassing that it's like that massive, and now you're known as that guy, right? That has the Switch carrying her around.
But it's all good. Console's fun. Mario Kart's great. I do have to start off. We have some Nintendo news, not much news, but some stuff to dive into here. And the first piece of news is not actually even news. The first thing here is you're actually being interrogated, Danno. So July is the rumored month that we're getting a Nintendo Direct in. It's usually June. It's September, but I guess July is the big old rumor now. There's tons of fake Twitter Direct leaks out there. There was a rumor last month that it'll be this month. July is apparently the month. Danno, when do you think we're getting the next Nintendo Direct that'll hopefully show a bunch of new Switch games, Metroid Prime 4 release date, Kirby Air Ride, all that kind of stuff?
Let's see. I'm just gonna go with my lucky number. I'm gonna say July 27th. Let's see, what day does that land on?
Because if it's a Saturday, you don't stand a chance there. Let's see.
Oh, it's a Sunday. Okay, you know what? Let's see. Let's go with July 23rd then. I'm gonna just say nice Wednesday. They're gonna slap a Wednesday Direct. It's gonna be long. It's gonna showcase Kirby Air Ride. It's gonna give a little bit of a deeper dive on Bonanza and everything. I don't think, if there was a 3D Mario coming out this year, I don't think it would be here. I think they would wait for Donkey Kong Bonanza's release. That's just, you know what I mean? It's just like how they didn't announce the Switch, like the original Switch, until after Paper Mario Color Splash was like over and done with. And they finally were like, okay, here's the Switch reveal, right? I think that's the same thing with, like, if there was ever going to be a 3D Mario announced, which is already pretty slim since the Mario team is working on Bonanza, but yeah, anyway.
That's a good guess. Only thing, and I hate to correct you, I don't want to do it, but Bonanza would release before that Direct.
Really?
And the day after that Direct is the Mario Party Jamboree DLC release. So people are looking at the second week of July, which is next week. Not to, correct or, nothing like that. I thought
Bonanza wasn't even coming out until like September. It's coming out this month.
July 17th.
Whoa! All right, well then give me that 3D Mario, baby.
There
Are you kidding me?
There we freaking go. But people are thinking next week, like next Wednesday or so. I mean, I guess there's no predicting what day it's on. It's we're not usually good at that, or I'm not at least. But do we think July? Yes or no?
Are you kidding? I mean, now that I know that, I don't know why I thought Bonanza wasn't for a while, but yeah, I mean, okay, so since the last Direct, we would have had Mario Kart World drop and Bonanza drop, so that is two big hitters that are now off the table, right? And they're on to the next thing. Surely we have a Direct this month to announce their next big hitter. Like, yes, we have Kirby, and we got a couple other games here and there, but I think we got to get like a big hitter like in July. Like I'm really excited now. I had no idea Bonanza was coming out that soon.
Yeah.
Jeez, where have I been?
It is, but I feel like we need something soon just because, there's Metroid Prime 4 out there, which we've seen a decent amount of. They've put out several trailers now, but there's no release date. Splatoon Raiders got announced. There's no real footage of that. We need release date because it's coming out this year. If you don't do any of that, we're waiting until September. And September is like kind of the rumored month where Metroid will release. I mean, you can't you can't just shadow drop Metroid Prime. We need the release date at some point, and yeah, they can just tweet it or something, but that's not cool, right? I mean, that's not fun. So
I can't believe it's been this long since we still don't have a Metroid release. I also can't believe how they announced Splatoon Raiders. Like that was so jarring.
Just dropped it 9 a.m. one day.
Yeah, and maybe I mean that is probably the biggest piece of evidence that would probably go against a July Direct, because if they're willing to just throw that out there, why wouldn't they have waited until July? Unless, counterpoint, maybe this Direct is just so jam-packed of cool big announcements that it would have gotten overshadowed. Maybe we'll just throw that out there. But
right.
Yeah, speaking of Splatoon Raiders, I am really excited for just a completely solo-focused Splatoon game. I think it's just like a completely solo campaign or whatever, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so, yeah.
I'm really excited for that. Yeah, just like a completely solo Splatoon spinoff. That was my favorite. I'm weird. I like my favorite parts of Splatoon was like the solo story modes and stuff. Like I still enjoyed regular Splatoon, but anyway, I'm excited for Raiders, even though we haven't even gotten any actual footage or whatever.
It should be good. I'm gonna find right now. There is a fake Nintendo Direct leak that came out this morning, and I just want to get your thoughts, because this is like one of those 4chan things. I don't know if you've seen these sorts of things before. I'm holding it to the camera here.
The big lists and things.
Right, yeah. But hey, this one's actually kind of believable. I want to get your takes on a few of these because it's kind of long. Starts off with a new trailer for Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Release date is April 19th, 2025.
That's not bad at all. April?
April this year.
Oh, gotcha.
So, but I mean, this isn't like an old leak. It says July 2nd this came out. So I guess the game's going to release in the past.
All right.
But here's where I do believe this part, and here's what I'm predicting. Immediately followed up by a shadow drop of Metroid Prime 2 and 3 remastered. I think that's going to happen.
I'm shocked that they haven't already. Yeah, I'm already, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I feel like they like to do it right before the release, because when Pikmin 1 and 2 came out, that was like a month before Pikmin 4. So I guess they just like that time frame. I'll read you a few more of these. New gameplay trailer for the Kirby Forgotten Land Switch 2 edition. Trailer for the port of Red Dead Redemption 2 coming at the end of this year. And then let's skip here. The last announcement, this can't happen. Obviously this is fake. But I'm just like, for a leak. A brand new Star Fox game featuring mouse controls. More info during a dedicated Direct in fall of 2025. That can't be your final announcement. Obviously it's fake. But just for a fake leak, that's not one of the better ones, I feel.
as cool as a Star Fox game with mouse controls would be, I think number one, it's definitely not like a last announcement type deal. Like Star Fox isn't that powerful, I think. But on top of that, I just don't think this early in the lifespan that they would bank on Star Fox that heavy.
Mm-hmm. So direct stuff, I mean, it's impossible to predict. We'll see what happens. But next, we can get to this little talking point. It's not very major, but let's talk about Donkey Kong Bonanza. We got word that the Mario Odyssey team has helped or has made this game, which releases July 17th. Which is new news to you, I believe.
Yeah, I'm shocked. I'm super excited though. From
what you've seen, are we buying Donkey Kong Bonanza? Not buying it, because I'm sure that you'll buy it. You know, you seem excited, but are we more excited now that we know this game is made by the Odyssey team? Does it change anything for you?
I mean, yeah, it turned it into a day one launch when they found. I mean, I guess maybe a couple weeks late when I found out the game was out. But yeah, it was when I found out that the Odyssey team was making. I mean, initially when I saw the trailer and everything, it looked beautiful. Everything about it was super cool, but it seemed, I don't know why, that the ability to destroy and dig through everything seemed tedious to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it would just be so much ground to cover. But then, people got their hands on it, and, C-Dot was invited to the event, and he came back and talked about it, and yada, yada, yada. And he said that, like, or maybe it wasn't C-Dot, maybe it was Game Explain. I can't.
Maybe it was me last week, actually.
YouTuber. Maybe it was you, yeah. Yeah, that was talking about how it was just, it felt fun, you know what I mean? And the second layer and anyway, so yeah, it kind of piqued my interest and made me a little more, comfortable in the idea of being able to break everything. But I don't know, I felt like, I felt a little worried that, like, being able to destroy everything, it would take a long time to, like, get around places, or maybe you'd be like, oh, well, I got to make sure every single last inch is covered, you know what I mean? But
sure.
I don't know, I'm excited. I trust Nintendo, right?
I definitely felt like that. Not to flex. I got invited last week to go play the game. My biggest thing was, like, there's so much to break. I don't know how anybody's gonna feel like 100%ing this game. Like, there's too much to break. You can break anything. And then while I'm breaking things, there's like hidden gems. I'm like, who's actually gonna sit through every layer and just break everything and find? I don't know. I mean, I'm sure somebody will do it, but I'll tell you this, the game's freaking good. The game is really good. I'm hyped for it. I'm buying it. $70? We happy about that?
I mean, it's not 80. I can't complain. It's not Mario Kart price, and so I'm chilling.
Sure. Only other thing that we have news-wise, I mean, I believe Nintendo is raising prices for the Switch 1 in Canada, so C-Dot's out there struggling. But aside from that, Super Mario Strikers released on the GameCube Switch Online expansion pack service. Do you have the expansion pack?
I do, actually.
Okay.
Funny story. I don't think I've said this anywhere, but the only reason that I got the expansion pack was to play. I had it expired for a while, and my Switch, I hadn't played on it in a bit of time, but now the Switch 2 is out, and a couple long flights and everything, a lot of us are traveling for VidCon and other things here and there, and so I got the expansion pack to play on a bunch of those games, for the plane rides, and specifically I wanted to play on the N64. I wanted to play Yoshi's Story because I had played that game as a kid. My sister had gotten it on the Wii Virtual Console, and I had never been able to get past like World 3. And so finally I went back and I cheated my way through it, obviously with the rewind feature, but it still felt like I was conquering my childhood. All right.
That's great.
But yeah, so I do have the expansion pack, and I was like shocked how much there really was on there. Like, it is kind of insane. And so, yeah, I'm excited for the GameCube stuff, especially. I'm waiting for Luigi's Mansion. They showed it off in the like, they showed off like the game cover in the overview, I think, is one of the future releases. And so I'm really excited to get my hands on the classic one, because I've never been able to play the original. I played the remake on the 3DS, and that was it.
I will say the remake is pretty much the same thing. I've played both. I feel like you got most of the experience, but it'll still be nice to play it widescreen, all cool. What was I gonna say? I'm waiting for Chibi Robo that was shown in all those
too.
covers. That's gonna be great, you know.
That was another game I never got to play. I never got my sister sold the GameCube right before I was born, so never got to play any of those classics.
It's also like $250 now. So hopefully when it comes out, the prices will drop. I mean, seriously. I mean, I've been trying to own Chibi Robo for a long time, and like I can't, like, if you can buy a Switch 2, you can buy Chibi Robo because it's less than that. But like I don't want to spend $250 on a game that I'm gonna play once. I mean, not play through once, not put in one time, take out forever. You know, it's not something that I want to do. So I hope that when the game comes out, the prices drop. But apart from that, that's pretty much all Nintendo
1,000 Year
news.
Door.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, same thing as 1,000 Year Door, right? Like, you know, it was like so insanely expensive.
Right.
All these GameCube games, I guess, are just like super pricey. And then 1,000 Year Door remake came out and slashed all those. So yeah, hopefully Chibi Robo will get the same thing.
That was nice. Even like Metroid Prime Remastered did it. Like, just keep on putting out these remasters and Switch Online. You know, it makes everything cheaper in the world. But folks, it is time. I forget what here we go. Our main topic that I chose for this podcast, I wanted to compare the Switch 2 and the Switch 1 in the terms that we can. So obviously, we're not going to compare power. Like, it makes no sense. We're not going to compare the Joy-Con. It makes no sense. We want to compare, or I do. I am kind of forcing you here. The things like the reveal trailer, the launch games of which one had better launch games, the drama after launch. You know, Switch 1 had Joy-Con drift, Switch 2 game key cards and all that. Everything like that. Let's go ahead and let's get to it. We are comparing the Nintendo Switch 2 and the Nintendo Switch 1. I wish I had a more comedic intro for this segment, but that is what we're doing. We have 5 topics here to run through. Number 1 being the reveal trailer. So which of the consoles had the better reveal trailer? The hype leading up to the console. So like which one felt like more of a big deal? Launch games, so of course we had Breath of the Wild on the Switch 1, we had Mario Kart World on Switch 2. Which one had better tech demos, launch games, all that kind of stuff? The drama after the launch, so for Switch 1 would have been Joy-Con drift, would have been just a lot of things like underpowered, everything like that. Battery life, thank you. And then, you know, for Switch 2, game key cards, I had more in mind. I'm forgetting them now. Prices. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Mario Kart World's reception in general. The updates,
all that kind of stuff. And then the first year launch schedule, which we have the full, first calendar year launch schedules that we will look at later on. But let's start here with the reveal trailer. Going chronological here. We obviously, back in 2016, October, we had the Nintendo Switch 1 reveal trailer. You remember that one pretty well, huh?
Yeah, first look at Nintendo Switch. I remember seeing that when I was downstairs, seeing that upload and just losing it. I was confused at first, and then I saw it was Nintendo's official account and just like just choking and going and sitting on the stairs and watching that. I really don't think anything will be able to beat that hype. That trailer was perfect.
Something about it, I don't know if it was the music or if it was just like how well they showcased it, like you would take the thing out of the dock. I don't know what it was. It was magical. It was really great.
Yeah, magical is the best way to put it. And then especially like the looks at, okay, so for the Switch 2, we got a look at Mario Kart World in the reveal trailer, right? And it was just a little snippet, and we didn't know the name, we didn't know anything. It was just, new Mario Kart. Whereas the original Switch trailer, we got to look at Odyssey for the first time. And I remember feeling like, whoa, like new Mario game. Like, yeah, Mario Kart is cool, but I feel like, you kind of know that it's still going to be kart racing. And like, yes, they elevated it a lot with Mario Kart World and everything, but I don't know, just a new 3D Mario game. There's nothing that can match that level of like, right?
Right. I will say when I saw Odyssey, listen, this was 2016. I was 8. I got to be honest. Wait, no, I was 10. I was 10. Wait. Yeah, I was 10. I was definitely 10. When I saw Odyssey, being a little dumb, I was like, Mario 3D Land HD. This is great. I didn't know it was like a new thing until a lot later. So That was
I can
cool
see
to
that.
see.
It was like the desert level, and like the platforms looked a little similar to 3D
Right.
Land. So yeah,
Right.
I don't blame you.
That's what I was thinking. I saw Zelda Breath of the Wild. I wasn't a big Zelda fan at the time. I am now. I'm pretty into it. So that wasn't big for me. But I mean, I can't base my feelings off of what I thought back then. Looking at the trailer now, and we look at the Switch 2, here's what kind of separates both of the trailers for me. The Switch 1 was people on airplanes and in airports and going home and all that. This is just like a little animation action of just showing, hey, it's a bigger Switch. And the other thing that I think the Switch 1 has over the Switch 2 one is you even saw things like the Pro Controller in that trailer. You saw the Switch 1 Pro Controller. I was going to make more of a point here, but I think that was about it. I don't know, but I just think that one had some more pop, that because it was like brand new. The reaction to the Switch 1 trailer was, oh my gosh, you can take it from TV to handheld. This is great. Switch 2 is like, oh, the freaking leaks were right, huh? You know, so I think that the Switch 1 trailer was better. Do we agree or do we disagree?
100%. I mean, okay, so my opinion is, as a trailer, as hype, love, magic, you know, all of those things, the Switch 1 trailer was just amazing. It showed, you're right, like people going places, doing things, and like, you know, you could see like the happiness in the guy's eyes when he was playing Zelda. It zoomed in and you could see that joy, and you're like, that's gonna be me in a couple months when I get my hand on this thing, right? But the Switch 2 trailer, as much as it was like, let's be real, just corporate, you know, like spinny, you know, more of like a, hey, look at this cool tech that we have. I think looking at it from a business perspective, it makes sense because of how scared Nintendo is of the Wii U and like how scarred they are of all of that. I think they wanted to be very clear and very concise and not show like, hey, you can take it places again. Like, I mean, realistically, like, what could they have done? You know what I mean? Like, oh, you can take it places again, and you can, you know, go on airplanes again, right? I think, you know, it makes sense for them to be like, guys, this is a completely different console. It's the Switch 2. We put it right in the title. Sequel, guys. Not an add-on, nothing. You can buy this separately, right? And so, you know, I get it, but, you know, I still think the first one just has much more hype for me personally and nostalgia, and I'm upset that they deleted the video.
I know, that sucks. I mean, just label it like at the start, like change the freaking title and write like old if you don't want it to show up that bad or something, you know. I don't know. Keep it up, but there are re-uploads, so that's nice. I will give the Switch 2 one credit before we move on. The Mario Kart part was just incredible. Like I was watching it, I'm like, you know, the freaking leaks were right. Then they show that, and it's like, you know, amazing. That's what I wanted. Something brand new. But now we can go to this. Hype leading up to the console. Switch 1 or Switch 2? This was
Switch
tough.
1 again. For me, at least. I mean, I think
sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, leading up to the Switch 2, it was mostly, sadly, just a lot of controversy. A lot of people upset about prices. Donkey Kong's redesign was revealed in the initial Switch 2 reveal trailer and everything. Not revealed, but you know what I mean? Like, you know, you could see it in the background that his, you know, his eyes and everything were a little different. And so it was really, sadly, just a lot of controversy, which it kind of made it hard to be hyped, which was unfortunate.
Definitely agree, but I also feel like Switch 1 wasn't fully perfect. I feel like there were a lot of people who were already used to the whole crapping on Nintendo thing because of the Wii U. There were a lot of cool, a lot of articles. I like combined those words, I guess. A lot of articles that I would read when I was 10, because that was how I got my information. That were like, the Switch 2 is gonna fail, and here's why, and here's why we were skeptical about it. It's underpowered and it doesn't look good. I feel like there was a lot of hype killing going on, but I definitely agree. Switch 2 is worse. You got the game key card stuff. When the prices came out, there's controversy for weeks. I think Switch 1 has a case, especially because, as we said earlier, it's a brand new concept, as opposed to Switch 2. Like it's just more powerful and it upgrades some things. But yeah, I think Switch 1 Not to end this segment too quick, but I think it wins this category.
Yeah, I mean, especially because, Switch 2, there was a lot of controversy before the release. It released, and the controversy is still going, whereas Switch 1, there was, those hype killers that you mentioned, and then it came out, and then, to be fair, there was the rocky launch issues with some people, having issues with, like, I still remember that YouTube video, Switch 1 painful launch and everything.
I was going to bring that
aside
up.
From that,
my God.
Oh, gee. Yeah, aside from that, though, It did sort of silence a lot of issues that people had, and the sales kind of spoke for themselves. But yeah, that video, dude, that's like scarred in every Nintendo fan's mind.
That's crazy that you brought that up, because I was just going to bring that up. I was like, that video I must have watched at least 20 times. Like, I don't know why. There's some rewatchability. It's fun to revisit every now and then. It has like 30 million views. I watched it today because I knew I was going to bring it up today. Oh, man. Yeah, it's at like 28 million now. It's popping off. Somebody please make Switch 2 painful, or please the same guy. It has to be the same guy, whoever made Switch 1 painful launch. But after that, potentially the juiciest, maybe the next one, launch games. Let's talk about Switch 1 versus Switch 2 launch games. Switch 1, and I'm talking like first party, because we can't fully control what third parties do. Nintendo Switch 1 launched with Breath of the Wild, which was also on Wii U, but, say, for example, is, let's pretend it's an exclusive, okay? Breath of the Wild, 1-2 Switch, and don't forget, never count out, Snipper Clips was also on there at launch day. I believe they either just published that, or they had something to do with it. It's a Nintendo game of sorts. I don't know. At the very least, they published it. Those were the three, unless I'm forgetting any. Solid. Pretty solid. Not bad. But for Switch 2, we had Mario Kart World and Just Welcome Tour. Let's call it this. Mario Kart World, Welcome Tour, and GameCube Switch Online. Because that was their day one, and that's pretty big. So what wins there? That's tough. Should we go one by one, like big game, tech demo, and then the kind of side project?
Yeah, that sounds good.
So let's go Breath of the Wild versus Mario Kart World. Who do we give the edge to there?
I think, all right, so I wasn't a big Zelda fan for the longest time. I still haven't really I do love Wind Waker and stuff, but Breath of the Wild and things. Yeah, true. My brother's a massive Breath of the Wild and Zelda fan and everything, and so I do have when Breath of the Wild came out, I wasn't funny story. I actually got terrible. I wasn't a day one Switch purchaser. I didn't get to pre-order it or anything, and so I had to buy them online and everything. And my Breath of the Wild copy came weeks before the Switch, and so I just had the game sitting in front of me and couldn't play it.
Fun.
I don't know. I feel like for the world, Mario Kart is so much more iconic and powerful. Like as iconic as Zelda and Link is and everything and everything, but Mario Kart is just such a big heavy hitter. But the one thing I'll say is that Mario Kart hasn't had the reception that Breath did, because Breath of the Wild really, it came out and it was pretty unanimous, except for a couple hardcore Zelda fans that were they like the classic dungeon crawler, the linear style and everything.
Sure.
But other than that, Breath of the Wild really had a really powerful, positive reception, and Mario Kart has been pretty split down the middle, with some people saying it's great and they love it, and other people just the whole in-betweens and everything hurting the experience. So it's really hard. I'm not gonna lie.
That is tough. I agree. Mario Kart definitely, appeals to more people than Zelda, even though they're both great. I think for a lot of people, they would pick Mario Kart over Zelda. I think not to make this too easy, but I think maybe just Mario Kart wins. And obviously, we can talk about it, next category. It's getting worse somehow. They're changing things and making updates, and now the game's a little bit worse. But for what it is, Mario Kart World, the best Mario Kart yet, if I can say that. I think I personally pick Mario Kart World.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if I agree with you on the best Mario Kart yet. My heart still belongs to Wii.
Okay.
But other than that, I think you're right. I think Mario Kart World. I think the comments, some commenters might disagree with us. I think Zelda is just, some people, they look back at it and it is just, a perfect game and the hype and everything. But I think Mario Kart World just appeals to too many people for it to not win the category. It's just, the perfect game to start a console with, in my opinion.
Family game as well. So, if you had a buddy, remember when you couldn't play Breath of the Wild because the Switch didn't come? If you had a buddy, you could go play Mario Kart World and get the experience there. So
right, yeah, and a 5-year-old can't play Breath of the Wild, but a 5-year-old can play Mario Kart all day long.
There you go. So we give the edge to Mario. Okay, but now we get to 1-2 Switch and Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. Have you played Welcome Tour? If not, I can speak to it.
I've only played it a little bit. I bought it, but I haven't gotten to play it that much. I did. C-Dot did let me play one of the mini games on there. He told Bam and I to play one of the mini games on there because he wanted to see how good we did, and it was pretty entertaining. And I think I just looking at the game, also the what little info I have, I do think the quality is slightly better than 1-2 Switch. But yeah, you continue.
I agree. I think 1-2 Switch, just a mini game collection. It's not gonna last very long. There's I think 30 mini games, and the whole gimmick is look each other in the eye. Like it's just it doesn't last long, man. I'm getting sick of this. But Welcome Tour, dude, it takes you like 7-8 hours to 100%, maybe even more. Like it's crazy. It's got in-depth stuff, things that you wouldn't know about the console if you didn't play the game, or you didn't Google things. There's mini games on mini games. It's just it's so nice how they make it too, because like you can learn about the consoles. Like here's why there's a super tiny gap in between the Joy-Cons and the console, because it allows for this. Like you just learn things, and like you're walking on the Switch 2. I think Welcome Tour clears by a mile.
Yeah, it is pretty great. 1-2 Switch, I feel like you play it for like 10 minutes and you really it's pretty forgetful.
Right.
And a lot of the games feel like repeats, and it's, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And there's fun to be had there. There's that like little shaving game, but I can only play that so many times. I don't know. I'm not having fun rubbing the Joy-Con against my face here, but
yeah, it's no Wii Sports. It's just
exactly. Yeah. Only knock, and here's what's worth. Oh God! You know what? I was just gonna knock how Welcome Tour costs $10. 1-2 Switch was $50.
You can't even. Yeah, you can't even bring up price for that, dude. Oh, yeah.
I forgot about that. Okay,
I feel
you know what? Sorry, go ahead.
I feel like I was gonna say I feel like Welcome Tour got so much controversy for it being people interpreted it as a tech demo that cost money and stuff, and it was just Welcome Tour. I wonder if they would have renamed it, if it would have gotten maybe it could have been like Nintendo Switch in depth or something. Like there was a different way to advertise the game to make it people like not complain over buying a tech demo. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What I also don't love, about the name is like it's called Welcome Tour. My thought is, okay, I'll play it one time when I get the console and then never again. Like there is sort of a reason to go back. I mean, you can always go back and beat your score at the mini games, but when you word it Welcome Tour, it's like you play it. It's like Astro's Playroom. It's like you play it once, twice, you're kind of done. I don't know.
So. Yeah. So I do wonder if they would have packaged it differently, if it would have been a little, better interpreted. But I still think you're right. I think it's still, I from what I've seen, I think it clears 1-2 Switch. I just don't like 1-2 Switch that much, so it's not really a hard battle for me.
Right. And then we got Mario Kart World wins, Welcome Tour wins. These are kind of hard to compare. We got Snipper Clips, and we got the GameCube Switch Online. Which one are we more excited for?
Let's see. Okay, well, here's where it gets hard, because I am more excited for the future of what GameCube has to offer. But the GameCube games on there right now, let's see, what is there? Do you remember?
Yes, so we got Soul Calibur, we got F-Zero, and we got Wind Waker, and newly, we have Super Mario Strikers. That's it so far. But that wasn't their day one, so just count Soul Calibur, Wind Waker, F-Zero GX.
Wind Waker is pretty cool.
Yes.
So Wind Waker is a pretty cool comparison, but I still feel like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like, new console, the ability to split the Joy-Cons and stuff, the first game that you can, multiplayer, that's another, sorry, going back to multiplayer is like a big deal with Mario Kart World. Like, I can't believe that the Switch, which the whole advertisement is like, hey, you can take off the Joy-Cons and you can share with a buddy, and you couldn't share like Breath of the Wild with anybody. That's insane.
Yeah.
Sorry. So yeah, Mario Kart gets another point for that. But anyway, sorry. Snipper Clips is like, I remember loving it with my brother and just playing it like a bunch. As goofy and silly as the game was, and like as small as it was, I don't know. It is really tough, but I feel like I just have more, like, as a launch title and stuff, as opposed to, like, it was so clean and just cutesy, and it just felt very Nintendo, as opposed to Wind Waker, which is just, more of a classic. There's a big argument to be had for, like, the Switch 2 did launch with all of the legacy games, which is, a whole separate category, but I don't know. I feel like I'm leaning towards Snipper Clips, but that might be a little controversial.
I am too. Because it wasn't even just Snipper Clips. As you said, it was that multiplayer fun. And also, aside from like the main story, you had those little freaking mini games, dude. You had like the basketball game. Remember that? If you played it, I don't know. That was
and the
fun.
Jumping and the
Yeah. You had all that. And we've had GameCube games. It's not like a brand new thing. It's cool that we have it on the new console, but I think I do give the edge to Snipper Clips just for being a brand new concept and not something that we've, there's guys who have bought the Switch 2 who probably had all 3 of those games in their collection right when they brought the Switch 2 home. Like, it's not going to be new to everybody. So I think just being a new thing, Snipper Clips wins. And also, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'll finish this. Snipper Clips, $20, GameCube. You gotta buy the expansion pack. That's at least $50. And yeah, you get other things, with your membership. But I think Snipper Clips could be the easier, accessible option. So
true. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I mean, a subscription to play the games versus owning them, which is a whole different controversy. But another thing, another stab to the heart is. The best thing on GameCube for me personally, and a lot of people, would be Wind Waker, because it's, the biggest appealing and everything. But Wii U, Wind Waker HD, with, the gamepad and everything, and that's stripped away now on the Switch, right?
Exactly.
It's just classic Wind Waker. So it's, it's tough. You'd have to swallow the pill of doing a downgrade, as opposed to just whipping out the old, the Wii U.
Oh, the great Wii U, man. I can never forget about it. They'll never make me hate you, Wii U. But let's talk about this. So I guess 2-1, we give the edge to Switch 2 there. So what are we? We're 2-1 Switch 1. The Switch 1 leads our categories 2-1. It could still come back, but let's see here. So our next category, second to last, drama after launch. Okay, so Switch 1. You can help me fill in the blanks here, but we had, not too far after launch, we had Joy-Con Drift, right? The Joy-Con Drift. We had, was battery life that big of one? I kind of am forgetting now.
I feel like it was, I think it was a big deal leading up to it, but I feel like when it came out, it wasn't a massive problem that people had. I could be misremembering, but I don't believe it was a massive issue.
One that I had very early on was the Joy-Cons would come off without even having to hit the release button. And like, you could not play handheld like that. So that was bad. I had to send in my Joy-Con to Nintendo Repair, like within a couple months. Like that was bad. And then in terms of other drama, I don't really know if there was much, but Switch 2, we've got prices. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say going back to the Switch 1 painful launch. There's a lot of scares about like dead pixels and like console. Oh
yes.
But yeah.
Oh, and how can we forget this? The Joy-Con straps, you put them on backwards.
Oh yeah. Wow, that was a massive deal. I completely forgot about that. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Big problem. I never understood how people could do that. Like it has the minus and minus buttons on there. Like how do you mess that up? I don't know. But
I mean, to
it
be
happened.
fair, a bunch of kids, you know what I mean? Like,
That's
they're,
true.
you don't know how to put batteries in, right? How are you supposed to see the, yeah, goofy.
That's true. That was a big one for sure.
I completely forgot about that. Wow.
Switch 2, we got battery life, I feel like is one now. Like it's not great. Game key cards, the prices, of course. And then whatever else I'm forgetting. Those seem
Mario
like
Kart World getting a little
oh
bit of
yes,
controversy in
Mario
there,
Kart
yeah.
World seem to be getting worse. Which one is worse though? Because like we have more quantity for the Switch 2 drama, but was Switch 1 worse in any way?
I feel like the thing with the Switch 1 was like, it was like the drama was worse and scarier at the start, but it didn't have a lot of staying power. And over the time, you know, people forgot about, like, we forgot about the straps and everything.
Right.
Whereas the Switch 2, I can see these issues lasting a little longer and like people remembering this impact for a while, especially, unfortunately, Mario Kart. I feel like, sadly, this split difference on Mario Kart with a lot of people complaining about the updates and stuff, I feel like it's going to sour the way that a lot of people look back on the Switch 1 or the Switch 2's launch title. Like, they're going to say like, oh yeah, it was Mario Kart, you know, and you know, I don't know. I feel like these controversies have just a little more staying power than the Switch ones. Which is unfortunate.
That I forgot for the Switch 1, when you put the Switch in the dock, it scratched a little bit. That's one.
True. Have they fixed that one on this one? Is the dock like a little wider or anything? I haven't really. I'm shocked that they didn't just take the front part out. Like, I am shocked.
They should.
Yeah. I saw like so many concepts of just like the dock only having like a small little lip at the bottom as opposed to like that whole wall at the front. You know what I mean? I am so shocked that that wasn't a part of the upgrade.
I don't know if they've fixed it, but I haven't come across it yet. And I feel like I have seen things saying they fixed it, but I couldn't tell you myself. And I mean, they probably did fix it because like that just makes sense from one console to like the next. I imagine that they have, but haven't verified it myself. I think in terms of a winner for this category or a loser, it depends. I think, well, yeah, who win? Okay, so the console with the lesser amount of drama wins, I think, this category. So I'm going to go with the Switch 1's got less, just because, like, Switch 2, I mean, it's still going on. $80 Mario Kart, the prices are too high. Freaking game key. What are your thoughts on the whole game key card thing? Because that's some controversy, and I have a hot take.
I'm kind of don't care.
Same.
Weirdly. I kind of like, yeah, I don't know what my problem is, but like when I thought it was a cool animation. I downloaded like the virtual games for the, like, I ported all of my Switch games onto my Switch 2, and it was like a cool little fancy animation seeing like the key cards go in and stuff. And
oh wait, no.
I
think you're thinking about virtual game cards.
Oh right, yeah. What
game key cards
like,
are the ones it's the physical box that you buy. And you get a cartridge, but it's not actually on the cartridge. You put it in and it downloads.
Okay. I'm a little upset about that. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like
sorry to interrupt you. Here's where I think this is kind of cool though. You get a physical box, you put it in, it works the same. You can't play the game without the cartridge in, and you can play it when it's in there. You put it in, it downloads. As long as you have internet the first time that you got to download it, it works the same. And also, physical game, physical box, can put it on your shelf, and also the loading times of a digital game. Now, that's legit. That's how I see it. I don't know. You know?
The load times, that's a pretty good argument. I'll give you that. But at the same time, I don't know. I can imagine a very specific scenario. I remember being on a road trip.
That's where you're screwed. Yeah.
And yeah, I remember being on a road trip, grandparents, Kentucky. I was on my 3DS and we were gonna go to a GameStop so I could get a copy of Sonic Generations to play it on my DS. And the GameStop was closed because it was too early. So I ended up having to download it, and it took like an hour or like an hour and a half or something crazy, and it was already halfway into the road trip. So I'm imagining putting it in today's modern terms of a kid who the GameStop is open. You go and get your copy of, let's see, Cyberpunk. Is Cyberpunk a virtual game or is it all on the cartridge?
I believe it's all on the cartridge.
Right. I think they made a big deal about it all being on the cartridge. So let's say some other game. What's a game right now that's virtual?
Madden 26.
All right, Madden. Yeah, we got a kid that's super excited to play Madden of all games, and he goes to GameStop. He gets his cartridge, and his family's on the road trip, and he's got to just wait for it to download. I don't know, man. That makes me feel a little sad inside.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, that's a very niche scenario.
That's the only negative that I see. I mean, most of the times I feel like you will have internet after you buy a game, but that's the scenario where it does become a little bit questionable, and that's what I've thought about. But barring that, I don't have a problem with it. I don't know. Yeah.
Sorry, can you pause for a second? I got a mosquito in my room.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
Give me 2 seconds.
Let's see. I love how your camera follows you. This is great. You know what? I'm going to keep it rolling as long as we don't take too long here. Danno is finding the mosquito. He is hunting him down. Podcast listeners, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. We'll get right back to talking here. Or you know what? I'll just keep it going while Danno kills the mosquito. We keep things rolling over here. So drama after launch, we'll get Danno's thoughts after he's done killing the mosquito here. I feel like I'm narrating Animal Planet. But drama after launch, I think I'm going to give the edge to the Nintendo Switch 1. I think it has less drama at the time of launch, and I'm softening my voice because we are narrating Animal Planet, and Danno has, he's
I don't know if I killed it or if it hid. I'm a little
Okay.
scared.
Shoot.
All right.
All right, there we go. We are back. I gave the edge to Switch 1 for having less drama. Where do you maybe stand here?
I think Switch 1 had less powerful drama as compared to Switch 2, and I think Switch 2 is going to stay around a lot longer.
Sure. All right, so we're 3-1 Switch 1, but let's go through our last category. First year launch schedule. So when I say first year, I mean first 2025, like all the games in the 2025, not including the year afterwards. Why is that? That's just me doing that because we don't know what is to come for the Switch 2 in 2026. So I'm just trying to make it easier on us here, but Switch 1 2017, I won't read every single game, but let's read some of the highlights here. Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, yeah, I'll read them all. Splatoon 2, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Mario Plus Rabbids, ARMS, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Fire Emblem Warriors, Pokken Tournament Deluxe, Snipper Clips, and 1-2 Switch. Couple ports in there. Some heavy hitters, 3D Mario and 3D Zelda in 1 year. I don't know how it gets much better than that. And then I
forgot about Splatoon 2. That's wow.
That was big. The only thing about Splatoon 2, though, I really feel like that was a Splatoon 1.5. Like, it was so similar. 2 years apart. Not even, a little over 2 years apart. It was cool. But Switch 2, we had Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Pokemon Legends ZA, Kirby Air Riders, Mario Party Jamboree DLC, Kirby and the Forgotten Land DLC, Splatoon Raiders, Drag X Drive, and Welcome Tour. Most of which are not even out yet. Like 99% of those. But just looking at the name value, the lineups, the tech demos, the ports, where do we lean? Who had a better first year?
I mean, it's pretty hard to go up against Switch 1s.
Right.
That's a pretty solid lineup. Especially Mario Odyssey. What was that? I think it was October 27th. Like that's
Correct.
like that's not even like, man, I can't believe I can't believe that was a year one. But yeah, I mean, what can you say? I mean, we don't know how good Donkey Kong Bonanza is, but even so, it's like, Donkey Kong isn't gonna win against Mario. It's just, I don't know what to say.
Right. 3D Zelda and 3D Mario in a year. I don't know how you beat them. I mean, Mario Kart World is a decent start, but then you would need 3D Mario, a new 3D Zelda, which couldn't happen. You would need something else there. And then you got Splatoon 2, you got Mario Kart 8 is kind of a port, but you got ARMS, it's about it. And then for Switch 2, you have Mario Kart World Bonanza. I think Switch 1 wins, but I don't mind. Sorry, I'll finish this. I don't mind Switch 2's lineup. I think, for me, looking at Switch 1, Fire Emblem, Xenoblade, not for me personally. But Switch 2, I can get behind every single game here. Kirby, Pokemon, Splatoon, I get behind everything here. So I like it, but Switch 1, just having 3D Mario and Zelda, I think has to win.
Yeah, I think the bare minimum that the Switch would need, or the Switch 2 would need to pull out to mosquitoes back, but it's on the ceiling. No shot I can get that. Anyway, the bare minimum you would need to combat the Switch 1 would be a new Animal Crossing drop just out of nowhere. Because I think it's been, some people are saying that it's been enough time to where, since Animal Crossing sold as well as it did, for people to hone in on, or for the team to hone in on just like, okay, this Animal Crossing New Horizons sold so well, let's get immediately on the next one, that maybe there's a chance that it could come out soon. But, I don't know. I feel like that's the biggest thing you need. But CDOT said that, and I kind of agree with him, that's more of a, like, the Switch 2 is going to be out for a couple years, and then they release Animal Crossing to get a whole new wave of people buying the console. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, anyway.
Are you aware of the Switch rumor, or sorry, not the Direct rumor this month that Animal Crossing will be in this month's Direct?
No, are you kidding me? I would be shocked. I would be shocked. Releasing a Mario Kart and an Animal Crossing back to back, like that would absolutely floor me. Because Mario Kart, you get a whole like series of people buying the console for Mario Kart, and then like you let the Switch get a couple other fill-ins in between, and then you get another big punch in like a year or two with an Animal Crossing, and you get a whole new wave of people buying the console. I would be shocked if there was another Animal Crossing like this soon.
For those who do not know, YouTuber Beat 'em Ups, Cool Guy, went on his podcast, Nintendo podcast, and he said there's a July Direct, and the final announcement, Danno, is Animal Crossing. Nothing big, but just like Isabelle shows up, Animal Crossing for next year. That's working rumor. We'll see. I mean, nothing against Beat 'em Ups, Cool Guy. He's never leaked anything before, so I mean, how could I trust him? I mean, same goes for if CDOT leaked something. Just because he's CDOT and we talk, I don't trust him. He's never leaked anything. You have to have a track record before I can believe you. We'll see what happens. Gets me a little bit more excited for this month. I can't lie. It gets me a little bit more excited. So we'll see.
Hey, the fact that Donkey Kong is coming out this month has me like super pumped for like a potential Direct now. Like I'm really like Nintendo is like emptied their cannons, and in my eyes, you know what I mean? Nobody can predict Nintendo, but in my eyes, like they can pull out some really big surprise and get everybody super hyped.
Right. I was looking behind my set because I swear I used to have like the Animal Crossing game here, but I just have the New Leaf picture right here. So I guess that'll do. We can always exchange this for the new Animal Crossing poster. So Nintendo, do your magic. But for this category, we give it to Switch 1, right? Better launch schedule.
100%, yeah.
Okay, well, at the end of this segment, we are here. The Switch 1 has beat the Switch 2 4-1. It won in terms of the reveal trailer, hype leading up to the console, drama after launch, and the first year launch schedule. Switch 2 takes the launch games category. That's a pretty cool thing, because everyone thinks Switch 2 is greater than Switch 1 in every way, and in some ways it's not. So very cool.
Yeah, I mean, even like the diehard Nintendo fans, I think the drama and stuff, like the diehard Nintendo fans and everything, were really like trying their hardest to defend against like the Switch 1 controversies and stuff. But for the Switch 2, it's a lot of the diehard Nintendo fans that are turned against the Switch 2. You know what I mean? Right. And so it's it's just, I think the Switch 1 is like there's a couple. I think the Switch 2 in the long haul is going to be a great console, but launch power and everything, and just, Switch 1.
Indeed. But folks, it is time to get to your favorite segment, the closing segment, the question block segment. It used to be called the answering your question segment. We still haven't let that one go yet. The question block segment, where me and Danno answer your questions you asked us. Let's go ahead. Let's get to it. My friends, it is time for me and Danno to answer your questions. You asked us questions, we answered. If you want to ask questions, there are 3 ways. Number 1, YouTube community tab every Tuesday. Didn't do it this Tuesday because I had a special post Donkey Kong video, so Wednesday I did it. Discord server is the other way, and then you can email Mario Matter questions at gmail.com. First question comes from Hobbs. Dude, Hobbs is the GOAT. Hobbs is actually the GOAT. He's in your chats. He's in my chats. Hobbs is the GOAT. He asks, Danno, what is your favorite mode in Mario Kart World? I like Knockout Tour the most. I'll start with you, Danno.
I just like free roam. Are you kidding me? I have been... Knockout Tour is great. But I remember playing through so many tracks in Mario Kart 8 specifically, and just like, I think I've told this story before, but there's, I can't remember the tree level, where you go inside the tree and there's a bunch of Shy Guys working around and like,
I forget
there's
too.
Yeah, well, yeah, there's some tree level in Mario Kart 8 where you go through, but you're only in the tree for like 2 seconds gliding, speeding through it.
Oh, right.
You see so many details of so many Shy Guys doing so much stuff. It always made me so sad because I think, weird take, that Mario Kart games have the best world and set design of any Nintendo product, like, at all. Like, just so much detail and beautiful, like, everything, and the background details and yada yada. And I always just thought, like, I want to be there. I want to not race. I want to just go explore things. And the fact that that's in this mode in this game is so cool. Like the P-switches and everything, that's a bonus. I just love the fact that I can go right up to the NPCs and just, stare them awkwardly in the face. You know what I mean?
That's cool. P-switches have been fun. Have you gotten any of the Peach medallions yet? Those are tough.
Gotten a couple. Just a few. But yeah, not a whole bunch. They are really difficult. Especially even with the rewinding, like a car's passed and you can't go off it again, and it's
right.
Anyway.
Some of them are harder than others. There was one I couldn't get, I gave up, and then some are just kind of like in plain sight. They're all over the place. But for me to answer this question, I would go, I don't know, because like Grand Prix, that's no one's like real favorite mode. It's just kind of, you do it. Knockout Tour is fun. I think I might go free roam too, man. Not to copy you, but I don't know, like, Knockout Tour is great, but honestly, like, it's great. Knockout Tour is awesome, but it's not enough to where it's like, this is my favorite mode. I think I go free roam as well, just because, there's no rules. You just do what you want. You go everywhere. The P-switches are a fun challenge. It's just different. It's brand new, so I think I'll also tag along and say free roam. Danny Davenport asks, I would like to know, what third-party game that was not on Switch 1 would you love to see for Switch 2? Thank you for your time. I'll start with you.
I gotta think. Do you want to go first?
Sure. And honestly, I got it. I already got it. The aforementioned Madden 26. I mean, honestly, like I love playing my sports games on the go, and sure, it may not run amazingly or as good as a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox or a PC, but I'll take it. I already have it on pre-order. August 14th. We are 46 days away. I'll take it. I will take Madden 26. It is a game key card. That's fine. As long as I can have Madden physical box, that's great for me. So that's my answer.
All right. I'm thinking, man, I don't know. There's a lot of, you know what? I want Astrobot. I don't care that it's a PlayStation exclusive. It is so unbelievably Nintendo coded. Terrible answer. I know it's not a third party. Well, it would be third party, but right. I know it's a PlayStation exclusive or whatever. I want them to port it onto the Switch for no reason in particular. I want it to make no sense at all.
Imagine they like release it and he's got like a Mario hat, and like, in the game they like show the PS5 controller like the whole time, like it's a big part of the game. They should just, Nintendo should buy it, make it Switch focused. That'd be great. You can freaking show the Switch 2 Pro control. It'd be awesome. That'd be nice. Yeah. I don't think it'll happen as you said, right? But that would be awesome. I would take it. Dude, imagine that box art on a Switch 2 box. That's terrifying. On a Switch 2 box. That's terrifying.
Yeah, to be fair, like, the PlayStation makes weird decisions. That's the only reason I'm throwing it out there. Like, how they put, like, all the Kingdom Hearts games and, like all their exclusives, like Spider-Man and like The Last of Us, how they put that on Epic and Steam. Like, and Detroit Become Human. I can't believe like PlayStation like gave up their exclusives like so easily and put them all on the computer. Great for me because I can finally play them, but I've never bought a PlayStation in my life. And so the one reason that I've been wanting to like, I've genuinely been considering buying a PlayStation is just for that one stupid game, Astrobot, because I played it at the store. And I'm like, you know what? Just put it on the Switch, all right? It's basically a Mario game already.
I'll be honest, that's exactly why I bought a PS5. I mean, I bought it for more than that, but mainly Astrobot, man. I like bought one late last year. I was like, man, I need to play Astrobot. So, what was I gonna say? PlayStation brought Lego Horizon Adventures, which they like kind of made or something to the Switch One. We should spam their support and say bring Astrobot next. But Bob the Burger asks, favorite Mario sports game of all time and why?
To be fair, Astrobot would also sell really well because it's already Nintendo's audience. Just throwing that out there. Like, just saying. But anyway, favorite Mario sports game of all time.
I can go first if you want. I got it.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's got to be Mario Sports Mix. For the Wii.
Oh,
I have basketball, volleyball, hockey, I think.
Mario Sports Mix.
There was one more. Dodgeball. Like little 4-sport pack. That was a good game. Close second. So weird. Mario and Sonic at the Rio 2016. That was
I was gonna say, I don't know if this is cheating, but I was gonna go with Mario and Sonic at the Olympics, specifically 2014 winter, the Sochi Olympic Games.
That was good.
Yeah, I don't know, something about the vibes, the opening cutscene, the look of so many games, and the figure skating, and also it's coated in nostalgia for me too. So yeah, 2014 Winter Olympics for me.
I got that for Christmas one year.
Maybe it's 2012.
Must have been 2014 Christmas, and that was just like that was a fun day, man. So that was good. 2012 was London for the Wii. So I think 2014, you are right, would be the winter one.
Okay. Cool, yeah.
Cool. So Mario Sports Mix and Mario and Sonic at the Sochi. And then finally, Shiny EV Sparks asks, what is your favorite part about making YouTube content and what inspired you?
Wait, maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not 2014 then. I'm thinking 2010.
2000. Oh, yeah, that was the Vancouver for the Wii.
Yeah, Vancouver 2010.
Okay. Because 2014 was...
Sorry.
2014
was Wii U.
Okay.
Yeah. My bad. Okay, yeah, Vancouver 2010. That's the one. That's the one. That's the nostalgia.
Yeah.
All right,
That is a good
sorry.
One. Favorite part about making content and what inspired you?
Ooh, favorite part about making content. What inspired me? There's too many to list. So many YouTubers. Unfortunately, a lot of them are canceled now. But a lot of YouTubers and stuff that have inspired me. The ones that aren't canceled. Stampy Longnose, Dan TDM, a lot of Minecraft YouTubers back in the day. Ryan Higa, loved him. He was always like the funniest YouTuber that I ever watched. But yeah, tons of and then gaming creators too, and like news. There was Chugga Conroy was a Nintendo YouTuber that I used to watch a lot. He was the first time I ever got to watch. That's the only way I've ever experienced the original Luigi's Mansion.
Oh yeah.
His gameplay, and that's how I got introduced to Animal Crossing and everything was through him. Let's see. Just tons of YouTubers and everything. But favorite part about making content, I think I've always been motivated by just like, you know what? It's this feeling of, have you ever like had like a favorite movie that you want to show a buddy of yours and like just to see his reactions to the movie?
Yeah. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. Or you even like a meme as small as that is,
Yeah, exactly. It's that feeling of just like having something. It's like instead of watching a movie and wanting to show it to somebody, it's like having something in your brain and wanting to show it to somebody and just both of you be like, yeah, that was cool. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so it's a weird feeling of just like, anything that I make, any like long video or like, Toon Turf or anything, it's just like wanting to throw it out there and just like show somebody and be like, hey, this was cool. We can enjoy it together. You know what I mean?
Right. See, you have really cool answers. Mine are just weird. All right, so what inspired me was these fools making Animal Crossing fish and bug tutorials. And, they were fine quality, but I was sitting there. I was 13, 2020. It must have been like March 26th. I was like, man, I can make those. And like they were pulling 50,000 views. I can make those. So loaded up OBS, didn't know what the heck I was doing, made videos. They weren't better than the other guys, but they were something. That's what sparked it. I'd been making YouTube stuff since I was like 8 on and off, 7 on and off, but never really got anywhere. So I would say the Animal Crossing guys sparked me for what it is today. And then favorite part? I think the favorite part is like, weirdly enough, when you're not working, you kind of like Danno, there has to be some part of you. I don't know if you feel this. There has to be some part of you. Your family's over, or you're on a date. You're on a date, not me. I don't have a girlfriend. When you're doing something, and you're eating your steak, or you're snacking on some goldfish, and you're sitting there. It's 9:37 p.m. and you're like, man, I'm kind of doing it. Like there's a lot of work left, but I'm kind of doing it. Like when the goldfish starts to taste a little different. You drink some ice cold water. I'm kind of doing it. I think that's it. To be honest, I think it's those moments.
Yeah, it's a weird feeling because it's like. I don't think, people don't realize that like it's not a constant feeling of like, oh, I made it. I'm a YouTuber now. It's like just random hits that you get every like month or so where you realize, oh, dang. Yeah, this is actually my job now. All right.
Yeah. So I think those moments are nice. I don't know.
100%.
What's your favorite part of actually working though?
Actually working?
Is it the editing? Is it the filming, the scripting?
Just drawing for me. Scripting. I love scripting. That's another thing too. As I really like. There's some people who like Pear doesn't need to script at all. My buddy Royal Pear, he doesn't need to script any of his shorts, and I don't know how he does it. I could never improv like that. That's just like an insane level of talent. But for me, luckily scripting is like it's pleasant for me because like wording things and stuff. I was usually like pretty good in English class and stuff and like writing essays and stuff and so yeah, I do think like scripting for me, but then on the other side, that's sort of my YouTube answer, and then just specifically my niche, I enjoy drawing. It's really pleasant, and it's also I'm really blessed because I can throw up like Dexter or your podcast or anything, just on the side and just listen to it while I'm drawing. That's so cool. I am really blessed that that's like, an option for me because, it's part of my niche is that I can draw and listen to anything.
Yeah, it's neat. That's quite neat. I'll answer just so we can move on. I don't know. Scripting's cool. I don't love it. I think maybe it's just the filming. I think as simple, bare bone, like this is fun. Filming a long form is fun. I think that's the most fun part. Which is why I'm trying to like outsource my editing right now. Shorts outsourcing has been done. Long form, I'm trying to get to that. Just because I just want to film. I don't know. It's just more fun for me. So I think
it's a solid answer. I mean, the filming for me is like the hardest part. Like just working up to like get the nerve to like put on the the YouTube act and everything, not act, but you know what I mean, like just the YouTube emotions and stuff. Sorry.
No, you're
for me, the filming is like the hardest part. So I mean, that's it's a cool answer. It's just like it's just completely different. Like everybody's they got their own sides of the brain.
Indeed, everyone's different, but folks. Not to take any more of Danno's time, that is it for the Mario Matter, your favorite Nintendo podcast, episode 147. Danno, thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. Always a blast, my friend. If you got
Thanks for having me on, as always.
If you have any, I don't want to poke the bear here, any upcoming projects or anything that you want to promote, feel free. I might know one thing that you're going to say, but feel free. The floor is yours, my friend. Where can they follow you? Where can they find you? All the good stuff.
I hope I didn't advertise this last time, but I think I did. But hey, Toon Turf is coming out soon. You know what's going to be terrible is if you have me on again in like a year or so, and I have to advertise Toon Turf again. I'm going to cry, dude. I'm just going to start crying. But yes, animated show, Toon Turf web series. It's on Riggy the Rabbit Monkey's channel. It's going to be great. Hopefully it'll come out in the next... soon. It'll come out this year, right?
Yes.
Please. Yeah, you can find me at Danno Cal Drawings. Danno Cal, got some reaction videos getting tossed up there now. And so, yeah, anywhere. But yeah, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
We will have you on again when it's out so that you don't have to promote it. Or next time, I'll just ask you not to promote. I'll skip that part. I'll just say, thanks for coming on. See ya. All right, but folks, have a good one. I'll see you Saturday for even more Nintendo goodness. I'll see you all then. Hopefully we have some big news, maybe even a direct. Talk to you then. Adios.